so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Courtney Twist, for those of you that I don't know, and I'm so excited because we have an amazing guest joining us today, Gina Kirschenheiter. Gina is probably the most well-known for being on The Real Housewives of Orange County for quite a number of years now. Yeah, experienced fan. And it's been about 6 months ago, I think right around 6 months, her and her life and business partner, Travis Mullen, joined Michelle Roderick and my organization and started their own team, the Gated Group, with EXP. So I asked for her to come on and kind of share her story, her background, and how she built this amazing platform, primarily through social media, and has now turned where she can leverage that for her real estate business. So welcome, Gina. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, why don't you tell everybody a little bit more about your story?
Okay, so taking it back a few years ago, about 2 years ago, when I first got my license, I got my license because I obviously am in the entertainment industry. I have this amazing platform and opportunity with Housewives, but was very aware that that was not going to be forever. And really, once you're doing it for a minute, you figure out very quickly, like, that's going to go away. And the platform itself is your opportunity. What are you going to do with it? I've worked my whole life, but obviously stepped away when I had kids a little bit to take care of my kids. A lot of women do. And so Travis was in the middle of sort of a life transition as well. He's a full-time corporate job, but he always he had his mortgage broker license. He had recently got his real estate license. And he was the one who was like, you should get your real estate license. And I was like, the last test I took was a pregnancy test. I don't even know if I can do this, but then, it's like riding the bike. You get back on the bike. Took the test. It was a fine, passed the test. But then honestly, I started to test the water, started to put it out on social a little bit, but I have to work for my business just like everybody else. And I have to prove myself just like everybody else. So I obviously put it on the show. That helped tremendously. But we started to just do the same things that everybody else does and really just immerse myself in the real estate world. We had initially joined a local brokerage. They're a Southern Orange County brokerage, first team. And I joined a team because I knew I didn't know how to do the job, wanted to learn the job. But I quickly kind of learned like what team you join it matters. And so the team that I was on, I basically we self-taught. We taught ourselves to do the job, which is fine. I think that happens a lot. But then I was like, okay, I have this huge platform. I have this ability to market, and I'm really just like helping to support somebody else's brand and name. And so I made this decision, I think early on when I was on that team, that I knew I was going to have to go and form my own team and my own brand. But really what helped me to make the move and the push was Miss Michelle Roderick, because she's a big reason why we actually joined EXP. And I just want to call that out because one of the real main reasons why we joined EXP is because Michelle's very good at her job. Right. And so she was very, you're very brave and you're very can do, and you recruited us, and that's something that I just want to remind everybody too, is like, don't be afraid to reach out to people because you have something really great and amazing to offer them with EXP. The business model makes sense. For me, it's like a home run because obviously I have the ability to access people all over the nation, which is, and, internationally, even with my fan base. So it was a real no-brainer, but everybody also has the ability to do that. And, I always try to tell other agents when I'm talking to them, like, you're always, when you're on vacation, and you bump into that other couple or those other people and you make like vacation friends, some of them are going to be realtors. We're all realtors. There's realtors everywhere. And then now those people that you bump into, you have not just a conversation on vacation, but you also have something to offer them. And that could be a potential connection. And I think just like putting yourself out there in general is a really big part of it. But for me, it just made sense. It was like, I don't want to be, I like my money in my pocket. And I liked that EXP had a cap. I liked the ability to recruit. And honestly, it was the people, it was you, Courtney, and Michelle. Once I met you as well, it was feeling so comfortable with both of you that made me want to come on board really pretty much almost immediately. I mean, I don't know if it seems like a slow process for you guys, but for me, we never even talked to anybody else. We explored Real's business model like online because you got to do your research. But to me, it was just a no-brainer because I felt so comfortable with you guys. And now I'm here.
Now you're here. And I think something that we're going to kind of circle back to this and talk about a little bit more, but the fact that here you are less than 2 years into your real estate career and you already have started your own team, you have your own branding. I'm pretty cool. Like you've really launched your career pretty quickly. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there could be people out there that think, oh, she's on TV. She doesn't really do real estate, right?
Yeah. I understand that that is like one of the stigmas that I feel like I do have to actually battle. And so the way that I do try to combat that is by continuing to just do the job. The more that I just do the job and then I share on like social media and just within my community, the fact that I'm working, people are starting to very quickly, I can see it. I know when I'm getting trolled and they can't really troll me because I'm doing the job. I'm actively working. They see me at all my listings. They see me doing community events. They see me on stages talking about real estate. I mean, I'm not an actress. I'm not, I can't get up there and just play the part of a real estate agent. I either know what I'm talking about or I don't. And I think I am a newer agent. And I always be sure to communicate that as well. Like I'm not trying to pretend like I'm anything I'm not. And I think that authenticity is something that is very valuable for everybody. I mean, there is a certain element when you're new of you kind of gotta like fake it till you make it a little bit, right? And you want to show you're in homes and maybe they're not your listings, but the point is people want to see you actively working. And I have been able to, the bottom line is with like housewives, there are so many housewives that do just attach to a product or a brand or a business. And you can very quickly see that it's not really their business and they're not really doing the work and putting it in. And it gets snuffed out really quick. And so for me, the more that I do it and I really am actively working, the more secure I get as a real estate agent and the more confident I am to then share that with people. And that's just kind of like the recipe for success. You put in the work and then you get rewarded for that work. Now, I do think that I have been very lucky, like you've said, where I've been able to build a brand and my own team. And that is pretty quick in terms of the real estate life that I've had. But I've also worked for 8 years prior to build a platform to be able to have the opportunity, which has now awarded me the ability to skip a few steps.
Right.
And so I acknowledge that, but I still think that there's a path and a plan that a lot of agents could be using. I still very much believe in the power of social media for everybody. Is Amanda on this call?
I saw Martina. I'm not sure if Amanda's in the car with her. Yes,
Okay,
Martina.
well, like Amanda, she's been crushing her social media. Like since I don't know, like before, because I didn't follow her before the EXP event, the One Big Fire event, but I see it every day, right? All of you guys honestly have been crushing your social media. I don't know if you see a difference in your analytics or your reach, but the point is you just want to reach people, right? The more people you reach, the more you attract. You want to attract the other agents. You want to have a page that like your other local agents are like, what are they doing? We want to follow them. Whether it's for good or evil purposes, it doesn't matter. Let them follow you because then when your listings come up, they're going to bring their buyers to your listings. And you want to be interesting and you want to be authentic. And that's something like with Amanda, I feel like I was with her at the One Big Fire event, but now through her social channels, I'm learning so much more about her that I didn't know. And I find it interesting and I'm attracted to it. And sometimes I want to buy the outfit she's wearing or whatever, but it just shows me more of who she is. And it's the light that attracts the moth, and that's what you want. And it's free.
Well, and can we dive into that a little bit more? Because you have about 850,000 followers on Instagram. That's your main platform, I would say, that you're leveraging. What give everybody maybe 3 nuggets or 3 ideas that they could go out and implement immediately on their social media?
Okay, so
I love.
Oh, you froze, Courtney. Right when she was giving me a compliment too.
It's the wonderful internet in Mariposa.
She was, Gina, she's hoping that you'd give us 3 tips though.
Yes, I can do that. Okay. So I think one of the biggest things that, and I've learned this, it's like trial and error for me too, because I had to introduce real estate into a platform I already had. So it was a little tricky, but definitely I think the easiest thing is don't overthink it. I think so many people think they need to have this like very crisp, professional, perfect looking content. I think a very easy thing to do is you guys are out there, you're working at any point during this week. Like if social media is something that is a personal struggle for you, take some sort of content of you just simply doing your job. If you are going to do your photography, and even if you're not a person that's like in your photography, I do suggest that for everybody. I suggest you guys, when you make your videos for your home tours and all of that, that you're going to put on your social channels, I highly, highly suggest you having yourself somewhere in them. Either do that like I do the opening the door thing, hello, welcome to 67 Concepcion, like come take a tour. People you're not just selling the house, you're selling yourself. So I think you need to be in your content is the biggest thing. Even if it's behind the scenes then in social media and you don't want to be in that video, show staging, show anything. I think it's a really easy one that I do all the time is when you go, you have to go change your signs. Everybody, putting your signs out sucks. Show people that. Show people that you're working hard. Show people that you're hammering those signs in. Like people don't understand how hard we work in all the things that we do. So we have to show them that. When you're going to change your escrow, your for sale to in escrow, celebrate that. Celebrate your wins and put it on social media. It's so simple. I do it all the time. It takes me 3 seconds. You don't need somebody else there. You buy yourself a little tripod. You put that tripod up, you get that video and put that on social media. It's a 7-second video and it just shows people that you're selling, that you're successful rather than like a page with that's like a mailer with the houses that you've sold. That's not personal. That's not who you are. That's not people seeing you're excited, seeing that you're going to work hard for them. So definitely put yourself in your content, definitely capture things when you're actually actively working. And then also another easy one is just sharing tips, right? They're already out there. So you don't have to like rack your brain to research tips. Follow some of the agents that are really good agents and then just repurpose their content. I mean, you don't have to recreate the wheel here. It's already there for you. And I think, and you have to care less about what you look like in the videos, which I know is a really hard thing to do. But you really you can't care. And honestly, people really resonate more with imperfection than they do with perfection. I think people idolize perfection. I think they'll follow perfection because it looks pretty. But when you're talking about somebody you want to actually work with, somebody you want to like, know, and trust, I think showing a little imperfection is actually very powerful.
I love that.
And share your real life too. Don't just make it about real estate.
Mm-hmm.
People need to know who you are. Why should they need to know you and they need to like you. They need to trust you. Why? You have to give them a reason. Are you a mom? Are you a single mom? Tell everybody that. That's so powerful. Do you know how many people are going through divorces and they're about to become single moms that need to sell houses and buy new houses? Well, if I'm a single mom, like, know, and trust another woman who has been through a similar struggle, So share who you are because who you are is going to capture a natural audience.
So I love that. Thank you. And I could see how that would really help when we're talking about with clients and getting listings and buyers. Earlier, you also mentioned about the importance of you building out your referral network with other agents.
Mm-hmm.
is an area that's often missed with realtors. I know Deanne Dillard is someone that we all work with that's done a really great job of that. What are some of the suggestions or things that you're doing to build out your referral network with whether it's on Instagram or whatever?
So I am very careful with this. I'm a big believer in playing nice in the sandbox. You are representing your client, but essentially you're doing the deal with another agent. And that's every transaction we do. You have to work with somebody on the other side of it. And what do you want that to look like? How do you want that to go? I would like it to go smoothly and nicely, transparent, kind. Like that's the way I prefer to work. Not everybody's like that. But so one of the things I was aware of was that because I'm coming in and I'm new and I have this platform, I felt like I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off. So I need to be extra careful. I need to be extra nice. I am always the first one to pay respect to all of the veteran agents because I'm doing the job. I know how hard the job is. And anybody who has built themselves their own business without a platform, especially, I have so much respect for that. So I think the first and easy thing you can do is reach out to some of the top dogs in your neighborhood and give them a little ego boost. We're realtors. We like a nice ego stroke. We're confident people. We're forward facing people. It feels good to make you feel good. I would, you got to do a little ass kissing. I would say. I think it's not especially for newer agents. It's like everybody says, yes, you want to door knock and you want to make people know that you're there and personalize things. I would door knock to the local agents. I think that's something that is, and whether you're doing that, in person, you're stopping by their offices, or you look up when they have open houses every weekend. The more successful agents in the area, because they always have listings, stop by their listings, like show up at their open houses, like let them know that you're there. Start to familiarize yourself with those people in the area, because then like if they know you and they're like, oh, that person was so nice, so and so, da da da. When you're putting in an offer for your buyer, we all know like that could matter sometimes. And if you're bringing a good deal and it's the same as this deal, but they know you and they want to give you that shot because they're like, wow, that's a young agent that's doing the right thing, going out of their way, they might pick your offer. So I would definitely do that. And I would definitely network and get into community things, whatever it is. Like we joined the Chamber of Commerce here in Dana Point and we started to do the farmers market. And that's been a really big deal for us. But if you don't obviously have your own brand and team, just join like networking groups, like a BNI event or anything. But I think like most importantly, the biggest thing is to be out and about, out in a public setting and always talk about it. Everybody is always talking about real estate, especially now because everything's so wacky. So it's so easy to like just keep talking about the fact that you're an agent. You don't have to be pushy. You just need to make people aware.
Right. So you guys, again, like less than 2 years in the business, you've got your own team. You even have an expansion team in Texas, which is really cool that we're just getting going. Another thing I noticed for you and Travis, so your guys' average price point is what, around $1 million or so?
Yeah.
Or your last few listings have been like 2.5, almost 3 million. What have you guys done differently to create that momentum?
I know. I'm so excited about that. It is really cool, honestly, to see, you start, and listen, we also have a condo that's 800,000 right now about to come out. And I'm not, like by any means saying we're now only exclusively luxury agents. We will take the business wherever the business comes from. We'll go wherever right now. We're not in a position to be picky, but it is really cool to get elevated at that higher platform. I honestly though, Courtney, I think that it just came with time and the evolution of people trusting us more and knowing that like we're able to really do this job. To be fair and honest, I am the face of our brand, right? And I do a lot of the physical, like laborious work. Like I'm taking our buyers out. I'm doing all our marketing efforts. I'm physically in the space, but I do have another partner, Travis, who's running our transactions, who's just like, he's really smart. You know what I mean? And he has like he's really good at the job, and he's good at the job from like a lot of different angles. And he just walked in the room. So I'm trying not to give him too much of an ego boost, You're okay.
Get the camera, bring Travis on.
I know. But yeah, so there's some parts of this that like to me, from the outside, I think it's a combination of us continuing to market. So people are really taking us seriously. If people don't know that you're doing the job, how are they going to know that you're doing the job? How are they going to trust you? People keep seeing we're getting listing. It's higher. So it's just a natural progression. And then we're able to work through those transactions and then get really good reviews and feedback because Travis is just simply so good at the job. You need to have both. You need to market yourself, but you also need to take the job very seriously and you need to be good at the job. And if you're new and you're not good initially, then you need to be leaning on somebody that is good at the job. I mean, even when we came over to EXP, because the majority of what we were doing at First Team, but like even just transactionally, there's so many things that are different and new at EXP. I mean, Trav was calling you, Courtney, a bunch. You know what I mean? And so don't think you know everything. Lean on the people that, especially this community, like there's so many good resources, which are the people within this community that are so accessible. Like being on these calls is important. Like, and honestly, also like the cheerleading aspect of it. That's very important for me. Like I need like to drink the Kool-Aid. Like I love the One Big Fire event, right? Because it's like, you just go there and it's like you get all jacked up and you're like excited for the job again. You get reinvigorated. Like to me, that's a big deal. And I think like just being so excited to do this job and live in this space makes me then want to market it. And then he's crushing it with our transactions and we just keep building. And I think that that's kind of a tale as old as time. That's like what you want the route to be for everybody.
Mm-hmm. A little or organic.
Yeah, right. It's not like I expected to come into this and be selling $5 million houses. I don't even still feel, I mean, I wouldn't say no to like, if somebody was like, sell my $15 million mansion, I wouldn't be like, oh no. But like at the same time, to me, that's like, I'm not there yet. You know, I'm on my way to that. And like, that's okay. So I think also like, even like if you're whatever area you're in, if it's a $250,000 condo and you get that listing, that's freaking awesome. You know what I mean? Like you got somebody to trust you with a $250,000 asset. Like that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And if I had a 250,000 anything, who I'm trusting that with, that's serious. So I think that people should celebrate every win that they get and like take everything like as if it's the $15 million mansion because it's somebody's $15 million mansion, you know?
Well, I think we can all agree over this last week, there's been a lot of turmoil and chaos in the media and in our market. And it's been kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you doing just to kind of stay grounded and like, you know, get your job done and be there for your clients?
I'm being totally honest when I say this, and I don't know if this is going to be a controversial statement, but I ignore it.
Yeah.
I ignore it. Like I hear it. You have to know what's going on, obviously. But to me, it's just like when all the NAR stuff, like the whole lawsuit happened and we changed over and now the buyer side is negotiable. And everybody was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then it really didn't change anything. You know what I mean? And I just feel like I do feel like whatever is happening right now, it does actually affect, I think primarily like those really, really high value homes. Maybe people aren't buying and selling as much. I get it that it's like not the best time in the market and it's not as easy for us, but like the job is still the job and people still need homes and people still need to move. And I'm just there to support them. You know, I mean, I make my clients just understand that they don't need to worry about any of that we're okay. I'm still going to do my job. I'm still going to represent you. I'm still going to get you the most value for your home. I'm still going to find you your dream home. And I just really try, honestly, not to put too much stock into that because I really find, and I don't know if that's just like I'm a product of the media, right? So it's like I have learned to just tune most things out, right? Like if you're spending your time, in my opinion, stressing and worrying about all of that, it's taking you away from what you really need to be doing, which is looking for your next deal and working on the deals that you have in front of you.
Amen. I love that. All right. So I'm going to kind of wrap this up. That way we can leave some time for questions because we have a large group today. Essentially, I'm hearing you say we need to plug in. We need to just film little things here and there of us doing the job and get it on social, not worry about how we look. And we need to be connecting with other realtors and building out that network. Is that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, I'm sure that there's a lot of questions out there. If anyone has them, go ahead and raise your hand and we'll get you in front of Gina. I see Dawn already. Go ahead, Dawn.
So Gina, you mentioned that repurposing others' content would be a great strategy, which I absolutely agree. Are there a few agents that you follow and repurpose a little bit that you could point folks towards?
To be honest and fair, I follow my other Bravo celebrity agents, so I do. And I follow their wives. So like Heather Altman, they're more like real bougie content and stuff. Josh Flagg, he's been sharing a lot. And you know who else, Michelle, that Glinda Baker, I follow her. She knows her stuff and she shares her stuff. So I definitely follow her. So I would lean a little bit into those people, but also honestly, I don't even necessarily will follow them, but once you do real estate or whatever, there's constantly people that will pop up. So I really do suggest strongly that you start to build out a folder within your Instagram. So like when you see these random people, it could be Joe Smith. I've never seen him in my life, but he had a really good tidbit. You really want to then save that down. So you hit that little flag. You want to create a file, real estate content, and then just start dumping that stuff into that saved file so that you could bring it back up when, ever you're out and about, and you can just kind of start to compile things so that you could recreate their stuff.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, I see Mr. Randall, who is on the Gated Group's expansion team in Texas and just joined us, 2 weeks ago, Randall? Do I have that right? 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it's been like a whirlwind, but I feel like it's already been a lifetime because I'm having so much fun with it. It's a blast. So again, I do have a question, Gina, real quick. And not that I couldn't call you or Travis directly to ask it, but I think everybody could get a tidbit from it. How many takes does it usually take you to do like your 7-second video when you're doing a like reel or anything like that?
One. And I'm telling you, because you can't waste your time on it. Don't, if you're, I have full confidence, Randall, that you can take a sign out and put another sign in, right? Actually, I will say maybe the first time I ever did that, it took me 2 because I didn't unscrew the screw part from the back enough, and it like bumps. So I think the first time because it is, it takes a little bit of practice, but now like it takes me 1 shot. I don't care. Honestly, I really can't care. I go during, this is another really strong suggestion. Go when the sun is setting, like when it's kind of down, almost completely down, because you want good lighting, right? I understand we all want to look good. You do want to look your best in it, right? Because there's an attraction factor in life in general, but don't waste your time on it. Because then you're going to overthink it. You're going to get frustrated by it and you're not going to keep doing it,
Awesome.
Perfect. Okay,
Wanell, also from Texas.
Hello. Hi, Gina.
Hi, Wanell. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again as well. So, speaking of new agents, I'm probably about as new as you. But I wanted to know, what were some of the other things that you were doing to kind of get more business? Like, what are some of the, when you say go out and, look for the next deal, like, what are you doing?
Okay, well, I joined clubs. That's how and I'm not joking. This is how I got my first few deals. I got 1 deal from book club. I don't read. I'm not gonna lie. I don't read. I read that book begrudgingly because I knew I needed to be out with, I have girlfriends in my community, but this was way more. And I'm really happy that I did it because the deal that I got came from a woman that was in that book club that I didn't even know. So that was a really one. And then I joined another game night. I got an invitation to a game night, and there was actually another realtor that's like a good realtor in our community in that game night. And I didn't know she was going to be in it. So I was like, oh, now I'm just kind of wasting my time at first. But I ended up getting a deal out of that game night too. So I would definitely suggest looking however, my community is kind of easy because it's like a master plan community. So there's always like events going on and activities going on. But I would definitely get in something that like is kind of fun. It's not like a complete waste of your time, but be social. A social club, I think, is really important. And now we are working on, because I tried to avoid the mailers for as long as possible, but I do think that the mailers are not a bad way to go, but they're pricey, they're pricey. So I think that doing things like joining clubs, joining groups, I think are more effective because people really get to know you on a personal level and like you. And they don't cost you anything.
Right. Okay.
Except your time.
Right. Okay.
I know you guys have done a few events at the farmers market because I remember seeing on your social some lovely videos of Travis dressed up as a leprechaun.
Yes. And I really think that's one of the best things that we've done. And we actually did. We just got a deal from the farmers market. The condo that we have now came from a couple that stopped by the farmers market. And that has been really wonderful. So I try to suggest things that, because I know when you're first starting, everything's expensive because it just is, right? You're not making your commissions yet. But so I try to suggest things that I think are easy to do and free. But if you join the Chamber of Commerce, even just showing up to those meetings too, right? It's like just networking with just people in the community. It's all small business owners. So if you can do something like that, because then if you network with another small business owner and you align with another small business owner, they can refer you.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Gina.
General, huh?
I have a question.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
I'm so excited. Every time you talk, I just catch like a few things. And even when you were saying about, show your job, I used to think like I had to have this grand something to put up there. And I used to think that stuff was boring. And then, now I'm trying to figure out, how to do it. But now I'm not trying to figure out some great grand thing. I'm just trying to take a little snippet. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. You know what, Christine? It's so good to see you and welcome to EXP. I'm so excited that you joined.
I know. Hey, part of the reason I joined is, just seeing all the different people. And of course, Michelle and Courtney. And then I meet you guys and you're just so real. You and Travis, it's just awesome. Wanell, like everybody's just awesome.
Yeah, it's a great place to be. It's a great place to learn. Before I forget, I just want to say one thing to you. Like, to me, what I see just being on this call, like if you look behind you, I can't see what's on it, but I see you have a very long list on your whiteboard behind you. That to me is like, wow, Christine is working, right? Show that. Even if it's not a post, even if you just throw it up in a story, even if you're just on selfie mode and you're like, oh my God, guys, this is my to-do list for the week, like whatever. I'm like, wow, that girl's really hustling.
Cool. Thank you. That I wouldn't even think of that. You're awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to go Michelle, Ask the General, you're next, then Stephanie, and then Justin.
Hey, listen, we've talked a lot about really great production tips, but when I look at the amount of people on here that are builders for EXP, if there's anything that you can let them know to lean in on in terms of what they can do to move the needle on attraction, because this is tough. It's
with the agents, you mean building?
Yes.
Well, I feel like you're the expert on that, right? So
other end of it. What did you hear, or what specifically, could they run with to make a move? Because I know there's a ton of builders on here. I see you, Matthew Stewart.
I feel like, what did you want to say something over there? Peanut gallery?
He's going to say it just makes sense.
Yeah, Jarvis.
Because honestly, I'll be honest, Travis he's been more successful. We have another agent joining today, and he's an appraiser, and it's just a home run, and he's going to join Gated Group. So he's been really doing a great job at recruiting. I mean, I guess the thing that I would say is, well, this is maybe more personal for me, but I don't know, maybe it's for everybody. Having support has helped me. So having you, Michelle, helps me, because anytime I see anybody have any glimmer of interest, I immediately shoot it over to Michelle, right? And that way you can just get that person. You want to catch that fish while that fish is really circling the boat, you know? So I would say that, and I would say just like, you don't want to be pushy about it. You want to stress that like, you have something that they want. And also I like to, this is maybe rude, but it is what it is. I'm a housewife, whatever. When I'm around some of the other agents, even if I'm not like specifically talking about their brokerage or them or anything, when I'm talking about EXP, I like to stress how I think that like other brokerages or their models are kind of like old and outdated, stale. Like because you just kind of like want to put subliminal messages into people's head. And like I joined EXP because it's a modern brokerage. It's a cloud brokerage. Like we're already ahead of the curve. So I just kind of think about it from the branding perspective of like where we are and who we're with is better than where they're at. To me, that like the other brokerages are like, it's like the clubhouses at, you know, like the old man clubhouses. It's like just an old way of doing things. And honestly, it's just like, where do you like your money, right? I like my money in my pocket. Why am I paying this brokerage for an office that I don't even go into for their brick and mortar all over the country? Like, why am I doing that? When I'm the one doing the work, you know? I like that EXP seems to value their real estate agents.
Awesome. All right, Steph.
Hey, Gina, thanks for being here.
Hi, Steph.
So I have a kudos and something that I just wanted to really point out to everyone and make sure, because I'm seeing faces here that I have coached and mentored also. And you have a huge following, and you're still going into chamber, and you're still going to the farmers market, and you're still doing the ladies night bunco group or what, you know, the game nights and stuff. Like that is so important. And don't compare yourself to someone like, well, I don't have a huge social media platform, or I don't have a big following. All you have to do is plug in to your community. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone was hearing that, give you kudos for doing that, because you could easily sit on the sidelines and say, well, you know, I just post on Instagram, me popping a sign out and everybody loves me. How easy is this? You still got to put your feet to the pavement and get to work. So good job for that. That's my kudos to you. And also just everybody else that's here listening, like everyone here can do this. This doesn't require you being on TV or have a big social media following.
No, not at all. And honestly, even to that point, even like my platform on Housewives, like, and not to toot my own horn, but like if you look at you compare me and you look at other housewives platforms, I have a very high platform compared to a lot of these other women. And a lot of these other women have professional social media people, and they have a lot of money, and they're really pushing it. What has always made me more attractive to people is the fact that I'm okay with who I am, the fact that I am authentically who I am, and the fact that I am sharing that with other people. And that is something that everybody can do for themselves. It's self-promotion, but in a very authentic, relatable way, you know? And I think that is what the job is. And yeah, thank you, because I could just put it on social media, but I'm telling you, that's not going to get me, maybe it'll catch me a couple clients, but it's not going to build me a successful business and a brand. Businesses are built on hard work, you know, and putting yourself out there and not being above. I'm not above the things that everybody has to do. This is just what everybody has to do, you know? I just think that for me, I understand that I'm more confident sometimes when I'm doing these things, right? Because if I'm door knocking and somebody recognizes me as a celebrity, that's very helpful, right? And so it puts me in this place of confidence, and I acknowledge that and recognize that. But I encourage everybody to just pretend you're a friggin' celebrity when you're knocking on those doors. You know what I mean? Like, just be confident. Just be, you are the person at the door that they want to talk to. Bring them a little gift. That helps. And honestly, even Stephanie, you have it down on like how to do all these community-based things. And like, you've shared a lot of that with me, and I'm using that, right? So everybody here is so valuable. Everybody has a lane and has something that they've done really well. And like, we really should all lean in on each other.
And to your point, make yourself the celebrity of that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or of that community. Like, that's really easy to do, because chances are you're going to be the only one that's showing up. So then you are knocking on that door. Like, I'm the celebrity of this neighborhood.
Yeah. And you are like, that's my competition within my neighborhood, is the celebrities of my neighborhood. And that carries a lot of weight, and I'm sometimes winning deals because now people see that I'm good at this job and everything, but sometimes I'm still losing deals to the celebrities of my neighborhood. So yes, be the celebrity of your neighborhood.
Awesome. All right, Justin, we'll end with Justin.
Yeah. Hey, Gina, thanks so much for everything you've shared. Nice to see you. One thing that I've realized, and I'm looking for some coaching that probably isn't just for me, but for everybody. I've realized that when it comes to video, there's typically kind of 4 camps people are in. It's like, no way, I'm not doing it. Right. There's I know I should be doing it. I think most people kind of sit in that, like, yeah, I know I need to do more video. Then there's the component of like life through my eyes. In other words, I'm the cameraman. I'm not the celebrity. Right. Which is more comfortable. And then there's what you do so well, of course. Stephanie's super good at this as well. Courtney as well, of like, the camera's on me. Right. And that's kind of what I feel like is the last phase. And I'm getting better at that phase. I just love to know, is it still awkward for you to say, hey, hold my camera, take a picture of me? And if not, how do you overcome that awkwardness in social settings? We're like, hey, this would be a great spot for a picture. Hey, excuse me, random person, will you take a picture of me just looking away from you for a minute? Like, that still feels so awkward to me, yet I know that feels like that's the path. But maybe you could give us some coaching on that.
Yeah, you just have to do it. Like, yeah, it's awkward, right? It feels weird, but like, do you want to go home with that picture or not? And here's the thing that frustrates me with agents around me and like who are struggling with this problem. I know you're spending money. You're spending money on this app and that app and mailers, and you're spending money on marketing, but putting yourself in your content is probably the most effective and most valuable thing you can do. And it's totally freaking free. So it's like, why not? Why aren't you wanting to share with people who is going to be representing the biggest asset that they have? How are you going to get people to understand that you are going to take this seriously? And also, you're going to do it with a little bit of personality. And also, you, Justin, are, there's things about you that are unique just to you that is going to attract everybody else. I know it's awkward. I swear, I said to myself, like, before I got on Housewives, I was like, I didn't even have social media. I had like I didn't even have Instagram. I had a private Facebook page, like 200 followers. I was so like that person that was like, I'm never going to sell out. All the women around me were like selling Lulu leggings and what the next MLM thing was. And I was like, I will never sell leggings. And now I'm like, in my mind, there's a part of me that's like, I'm like the biggest sellout that there is. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? I have to feed my kids. I got to put my kids through college. I want to go on vacation this summer, and if me being able to do all of these things and help and serve my clients, if it's going to attract more people to me because I'm putting it on social media and I'm out at Dana Point and I ask this guy to take a picture of me or whatever is going to get me there. I mean, what is it really that big of a deal? What you do to me, a lot of what we do during our actual deals is a lot scarier than putting myself out on social media. And like, you just have to be okay with like, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Sometimes you're going to look dorky. Sometimes you're going to look weird. Like sometimes you're going to see things the sound of my voice, people tear me up for everything and you just get so like immune to it. Like, and then, so now it's like, it doesn't matter what I do. You just need to like be confident in yourself and just do it. I mean, and you can do it, and you're doing the job already. So just turn the camera around. Don't be the, the mom at the end of the journey of life who then she looks at all the photos and realizes she's not in any of them because she was taking out. Don't be that mom, Justin.
You got it.
Justin.
Great coaching. Awesome.
All right. Well, Gina, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us this week. If you want to hear more from Gina, she is coming to Fresno, California on May 28th. She's going to be speaking at the YPN event. So if anybody wants to come and join us, reach out to Michelle or I, and we'll get you guys the details on it.
Please come. I would love to see you all.